So, hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Python Bootcamp series. In this series, I am starting covering the entire Python language from very scratch till the advanced level. And this is the second episode of this series. And in this session, we will be covering with variables and data types. Before initiating with this session, I would like to request you all that if you haven't watched the first session, which was of basics of Python and programming and operators, then please go and watch that thing first because it's a continued version of that because it's a full-fledged series. So you won't be able to cope up with the second part of this series if you haven't watched the first one. So if you haven't watched it, please go and watch that one first, and after that come back to this part. So yeah, that was a simple small disclaimer for this video that first watch it. First watch the first session, then come to the second one. And okay, in this one, we will be covering variables and data types. And without wasting any further time, let's directly switch into a presentation. Yeah, let's just switch into a presentation. So let us begin the session with a positive note that keep your face always toward the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you. Always go ahead. There will be certain problems in your way. Just cross them and feel motivated. Just see your goals, and you will be feeling that the shadows, the obstacles are left behind, and now you are moving ahead of them because you have already passed them. So always stay motivated and don't let go at any given point of your life because life is a never ending process and you have to fight with the situations that you are dealing daily on daily basis. Okay, so now let us actually begin with the session. In this session, we will be the contents we will be covering will be first variables. We will be understanding what are variables, and then we will be seeing that what are keywords, and then operators, because we haven't covered the entire operators in the last session because understanding the key concepts of variables was very much important before understanding the operators. So we will be covering the operators, then we will be seeing data types, the different types of data types, and after that how to convert one type of data into another type, basically type conversion. After that we will be seeing that. So yes, first, what are variables? So now listen me very carefully because this is very much fundamental of coding and it's not that difficult if you understand it na- if you understand it clearly, like without getting distracted. Okay. So let me just begin. What is this? The thing that I had drawn, these squares and all these squares. What is this? So this is your system's, your computer's memory. Actually, memory somewhere around looks like this, that there are different blocks where you can store some data inside the memory. Okay. So now what does variable do? See, here I have written something. Name is equals to Gursimran, age equals to 18, and marks equals to 92. Now, if I write this same thing, which thing? If I write this same part in my code, in my code editor, which we are using is VS Code. Okay. So then what will happen? My system will name this block. Can you see this block? My system or my computer will name this block as name. It will become my name. Okay. What is this? Name of a memory location. How? See, just a second, let me change the color of the pointer. Yes, this is our memory. Okay. There are various blocks inside our memory. This one, this one, this one. Okay. So there are a lot of blocks inside our memory. So what will this mean? Wait. Yes, there are a lot of blocks inside our memory. Okay. When I write name, and all of them don't have any name. So we can't access any block of memory as of now. Okay. If I write name is equals to Gursimran. And forget about name is equals to Gursimran. Let us talk about age is equals to 18. If I write age is equals to 18 on my code editor, it means that one of the block in the memory, for example, let us say as of now this, okay, any, it is a totally random assorting. This block will get named as age because I have written age is equals to 18. Age is written on the left hand side of the equals to sign, which is equals to sign is also known as assignment operator. In world of coding and programming, equals to sign is also known as assignment operator that we will be seeing in the operators wala part also. So when I had written age equals to 18, then it means one of the blocks inside the memory had been named as age. And the most interesting part, the value. See, I have written age on the left hand side, so it had become the name of the memory location. And I have written 18 on the right hand side of the equals to sign. Then this value 18 will get stored inside this block. This is what variables mean. If you had understood this, well and good. If you haven't understand this, just pause the video, rewind it to the very beginning when I have started teaching about variables. Play it again, try to understand with a clean and fresh and a calm, composed mind. And if you still not understand this, just comment below what are the doubts that you are facing. I will try to resolve that. Okay. So let us see it with one more example. See, here I have written marks equals to 92. Now, what does this mean? It means another memory location. It can be any memory location. So, for example, let us see this one. Okay, this memory location, this here of memory is got named as marks. Just avoid my bad handwriting because I am not that much used to writing using a pen tablet. Okay, marks, and inside this a value 92 gets stored. 92 and here 92 and in this case 18. Both of them are the values that are getting stored inside the memory. And here age and here marks are the name of the memory locations. Or in simpler words, you can understand that age and marks both are the names that are assigned to these pairs. Okay, you can access this sphere with using this memory location name, which is age and marks. Okay. And similarly here, I have written name. So the memory location had been named as name. And I have written Gursimran on the, which is my name. Okay. On the right hand side. So the value Gursimran will get stored inside this block. This block is very small to write my name. Let me try to do so. Okay. So Gursimran will get stored inside this. Okay. So this is the very much concept of variables. I think it should be clear enough. And if it is not clear also, then also it is completely fine. Just listen to me now carefully. I am again summarizing that thing. First, you will use a assignment operator. What is the assignment operator? Assignment operator is simply a equals to sign. The thing that you will be writing on the left hand side of the assignment. Now, as of now, just avoid the left and right gestures of my hand because I am using my right hands, but because of the recording purposes, the image, the video got twisted, inverted. Okay. So avoid that confusion. The left hand side of anything that I write on the left hand side of that equal to or assignments operator, that will be the name of that memory location. And the thing that I will be writing on the right hand side of that assignment operator or the equals to sign, that will be the actual data or the actual value that will be getting stored inside that memory location. I hope this is clear, and I am repeating it again and again. If it is not clear, then don't be afraid. Just rewind this video, start it from the very scratch. You will get the things. If you will be seeing it with a calm and soothing mind. And if still there are any doubts, just comment below. I will be free and happy enough to answer all of your doubts. Okay. So now, rules for identifiers nomenclature. Now, what is this? Okay. Now, what are identifiers? Because we haven't covered identifiers yet. Okay. We haven't covered identifiers. Yeah, we haven't covered identifiers as of now. So, what are identifiers? Identifiers are nothing else but variables. Okay. Identifiers are another name for variables. Identifiers are another names of variables. So now there are certain rules to name identifiers, to name variables. Like we can't set, let me go back to the previous slide. See, here my variable name was name. Here my variable name was age. And here my variable name was marks. So these are the names of my variable. Just actually I had forgot to switch back to the presentation. I had forget it. Let me explain it again. That now we will be covering the rules for the nomenclature of identifiers. Now, how we name the identifiers. Now, what are identifiers? Identifiers are nothing else but another name for variables. Okay. Identifiers are simultaneously used for variables. Now, there are certain rules to name our variables. Now, what are those rules? What are those rules? Okay. See here in this slide, my variable name was name itself. And in this case, variable name was age. And in this scenario, variable name was marks. So I can't name any variable without knowing these rules because you simply can't assign any name to a variable. There are chances that the system will throw error because that name can't be given to any variable. So what are those rules? Now we are gonna study about that. Before that, there's a mistake in this slide. Let me correct that. There should be inverted commas here because otherwise the system will be throwing error. So now what are those rules? Simply, you can use all uppercase, means capital letters from capital A to capital Z. You can use all lowercase letters from small a to small z. You can use underscore also. Underscore. What is underscore? This symbol that I have written inside the bracket also. This is underscore. You can use that also. Okay, is that clear? But you can't use any special character. Now, what are those special characters? You can't use at the rate, you can't use hashtag, ampersand, modulo, dollar sign, multiplication, asterisk. Okay, you can't use these special symbols. These are not allowed. Although in previous lecture, I had told you that these special characters are allowed in the character set of Python. Yes, these are allowed in the character set of Python, but these are not allowed in the variable names. Both are completely different things. You can use these symbols in Python, but they will be doing some other work, not the variable name. Inside a variable name, which is a name that you are defining for a memory location of your system, that can't be including any of these special symbols. The only special symbol that you can include inside your name, variable name, is underscore. And one more thing, you also can't use tab or space inside your name. That's why underscore is allowed. Wherever you want to put space, just add underscore. You will get used to it. Okay, later on. And variable names cannot be initiated with a digit. So you can include uppercase letters, means capital letters. You can include lowercase letters, means small letters. And you can include digits from 0 to 9, means all mathematical digits also, but you can't begin the variable name from a digit. Okay, you can't begin your variable name from a digit. What does it mean? Let me write something. Okay, for example, there are two variable names, variable, variable underscore one. Okay, and another name is one. Just a second. One underscore variable. Let's take some more examples also. Okay, and other is variable, these are the names of the variables. Okay, variable space, here I am putting space and then one, and one more thing can be hashtag variable. Okay, variable, and one more, and the last one is underscore variable. Okay, underscore variable. Now all the things will be clear to you. With this single example, all the things will be clear to you. Variable underscore one, it only include uppercase letters, uppercase V, lowercase, other letters are lowercase, and a underscore and a digit. Okay, first rule is verified. It does not include any special characters. Second rule is also verified. It is not initiated with a digit. Then third rule is also verified. Like, but this is a correct variable name. You can name a variable with this, but you can't use this because this includes one, which is a digit, and it is starting with that digit. There's a difference between this name and this name. This name don't include any digit in the beginning. It is beginning with a letter, which is completely fine. But if you are beginning with if you are beginning your variable name with a digit, then it's a big problem. You can't do that. The system will be throwing, the compiler will be throwing an error in this case. So it is a wrong variable name. This is again a wrong variable name because it is using a space, and space is not a valid character for any variable naming. Hashtag variable, it is also a wrong variable name because it is including hashtag, and hashtag is also a special character which is not allowed for a variable name. And underscore variable name, it is completely fine. It don't include any special character. It is not getting initiated with any digit. The only thing you have to remember is you can use uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and a digit, and underscore also. And not, do not, never, never ever start your variable name with a digit. That's all you have to remember. And one more thing, which is very important thing, keywords cannot be settled as variable name, which means the names that the keywords, there are certain keywords inside Python, inside every language there are certain keywords. You can't use that keywords as the name of your variable. Now what are those keywords and why we don't use them, we will be covering it in the next slide. Okay, so let us keep reserved this point for the next slide. Okay, and one pro tip, this is not any rule but it's a pro tip which every programmer will be giving to their junior programmer or to someone to whom they are guiding for their programming journey, is that variable names should be meaningful and short. There's no limit of variable names, length of variable name. Like You can name your variable of any length of 4 characters, 5 characters, 6 characters, 7 digits, 7 characters, alphabets. Any length of name is allowed, but will you be naming your variable a very long thing like something of 10 or 11 characters? No, that don't be feasible for you. You will be trying to, for example, in your day-to-day life, you do chatting with your friends, okay? You use short forms because you don't want to write the entire spelling. It's quite overwhelming, right? Similarly, keep your variable names short. And or at the same time, they should be meaningful. Okay. Now, what does thing mean? This is a very important point that your variable names should be meaningful. Now, what does this mean? Me come back to my previous slide again. Here, my variable name is name. Just by reading the variable name, you can understand that what will be the data that will be stored inside this memory location. Because at the end of the day, variable is nothing else but a memory location. Okay, the name of a memory location. So, just by seeing the variable name that I have given, which is name, you can understand that Na- a name will be stored inside this variable. Then there's variable named as age. Now, just by reading this, you can understand that age of someone will be stored inside this variable. And then marks, just by again looking at this name, you can see that you can understand or comprehend that marks of someone will be stored inside this variable or inside this memory location. So, my variables, all 3 variables that I have made here are meaningful because you can understand what data will be stored inside them, and at the same time they are short, not that much big. You can also use variables like x. For example, I can here write x equals to Gursimran, y equals to 18, and z equals to 92. Completely fine, and they are short also. I don't, this is the shortest name a variable can have, a single alphabet. But will those variables be meaningful? Not at all. You can't tell that what will be stored by seeing it. If I write a variable as in the name of a variable as x, you can't comprehend or you can't pretend that which type of data or what will be stored inside that variable. So your variables should be short and meaningful. Although there is no limit of the length of variable inside Python, but you should keep that thing in mind to make your own work easy. You have to make keep your variables in short and meaningful at the same time. Although that's not a rule, but that's a tip. Okay, now what are keywords? See, here I have mentioned that you can't set up keywords as the name of your variables. But what are those keywords and why can't we do that thing? Now we will be seeing that. Okay. First, let me have some water. Now comes the keyword. Okay, keywords. What are keywords? Let me change the pointers. Yeah. What are? Why it is turning to pen automatically when I'm switching the colors? I don't know. What are keywords? See, all the words that I have written here are keyword in Python. The word and, asset, elif, for, in, not, true, as, class, else, from, is, or, try, asset is written twice. That's my mistake, okay? Except, global, lambda, pass, while, async, assert again, false, if, none, raise, with, await, del, finally, import, non, local, return, yield. All of them are keywords. You can't, and they have this different work. For example, in our next session, which will be, I think, of conditionals only, or either it will be of strings, I don't know. Okay. In our upcoming 1 or 2 lectures, we will be covering about conditionals. In that, you will be seeing elif, if, and elif also. After that, we will be covering loops also. There, you will be seeing while and for. Where are they? You will, yeah, for loop. There is for loop. You will be seeing that. And there is a while loop. You will be seeing that also. There are keywords like pass, return, and exit. Not exit, pass and return. Okay. That you will be also covering. There are Boolean values, false and true, none also. Okay. You will be covering that also. So till that time, you will be completing the series. You will be have learned all of them. So you don't have to cram them as of now because you will be understanding the work of each and every keyword. Don't be overwhelmed because once you will be following the series, all of them will be crystal clear and not be that difficult to remember because we will be covering each and everything one by one and very calmly and with a very slow pace that you will be able to understand that because it's your first language. At least I am assuming that it is your first language, so I can't be that much fast. Okay. So all of these words are keywords and they have their different functions to perform. So you can't use these keywords as the name of your variables. Now let me do one thing. If I name my variable as and, okay, it will not be the compiler of the Python will not take it as a variable name and it will be showing me an error. Okay. So you can't use these words as the name of your, you can't these words as the name of your variable. Just remember this thing. Okay. Now it's a lot of theory. It's been a lot of theory. Now let us do some coding. Now let me do name. I have come to my code editor, Visual Studio Code. Now I am writing a code. I'm writing name equals to Gursimran. Okay, this is the very now Gursimran. Now we will be decoding this. Okay. Now name is the name of that memory location and the name of variable equal to assignment operator. Why I had used this inverted commas because it's a string value. What is a string value that you will be also learning within upcoming one or two slides. Okay. And Gursimran. So the value Gursimran had been stored inside a memory location whose name is name. Is that clear? Now, if I will be running that, nothing got printed because I haven't used any print statement. Now, if I am writing print name, now you will be seeing the magic. Gursimran got printed instead of name because I had asked the interpreter to print the name. No, the value that had been stored inside name variable that will got printed. But what if I have to print name? Now I want my system to print name, the word name itself, not my name, which is Gursimran. Then what will be I doing? I will be converting it into a string. I will be using inverted commas like here. Then I will be printing that. Then it will be printing name. Now let me show you something. My name is comma name. This variable capital N. Okay. See, my name is after that I had put in a comma inside the same print statement. Then I had given the instruction to print name. And see, after that, Gursimran got printed. And why is there this space? Because of the fact this space is there. And here there is only one space, but here there are two spaces. Why that? Because one space is this one that I have explicitly written over here, and one space is because I had told you in the last lecture that if we don't define the separator attribute, it is by default set as space. Now, if I will be printing it, see, now single space is there. So that's one variable we have done. We can also do like that variable also, age equals to 18. And then I can simply print my age. Okay, the 18. Now, this was the basic of variables. Now, although I have some practice questions to do at the end, let us do one practice question as of now, which is mm, input the name of the user, and after that, print that name of the user on the on the terminal. Okay, so how will be that done? Input. Always remember to use that what we are inputting. Mention that also by using inverted commas. Enter your name, then print. Now there's a catch. I can't directly print the when I will be learning this, when I will be executing this command, not learning, when I will be executing this command, then first my interpreter will be popping up, enter your name, it will be written, and with a colon. After that, I have to write my name. I will be writing my name, Gursimran Singh. Then print. How can I print that thing? I will not be able to print that thing, right? Just wait. Yeah, I won't be able to print that thing. So what should I do in that scenario? I will be storing this inside a variable. Now let me name this variable name. Why I have named this variable as name? Because again, I have told you it is small, and by just reading that name, I can understand that a value name is being included inside this variable. So here I will be writing print name. First, let me explain this code again. Okay. I have asked my system to input something by just popping up the message that enter your name. With this, the person will be able to understand what I want to input. And then this is enter your name. Okay. The user will be reading this message. After that, they will be writing their name, and that will be getting stored inside a variable whose name is name. Why its name is name? Because to I want my variable to be meaningful and short at the same time. And then print name. It will be printing the value of this variable again because I haven't used inverted commas here. Now let me run this. And why I'm focusing on this point that when variable name should be meaningful and short at the same time, because it's again a tip, a meaningful technique that each and every programmer use. So you should also build a habit to do that from the very scratch. Don't be waiting for later on that I can change my habit later on. Trust me, once you will be building a habit from the very scratch, it will be easier for you to build your own projects. While that, it will be a very useful technique. See, it is asking for enter your name and then colon. Then I can input here. Just clicking here, I can write my name, Good Simran Singh. Then I will be pressing enter. Then it had written Good Simran Singh because I want to print that name. Okay, this was a practice question. Although there are, I think, not a lot of, a decent enough amount of practice questions that I have in for the last of this video. So we will be covering that later on. Now let us just move to operators. Now, what are operators? The first one is arithmetic operators. The first one are arithmetic operators, and we already had completed in during our first session. Now, second type of operators are relational operators. Now, what are these relational operators? Later on in the series, we will be building certain conditions when we will be studying conditionals, if else, and loops also, for loop, while loop. We will be building certain conditions. At that point of time, we will be doing relational building conditions, we will be using relational operators. But as of now, let me just explain in like the smaller part of this. If I write single equal to, let me use the pointer. If I write single equal to, it's an assignment operator that I have already told you. It means I am assigning some value. I am assigning the name to a memory location, and then I am storing some value inside that memory. But if I write double equals to, it means that I am checking for a condition that whether both of them are equal or not equal. And if I write is not exclamation mark equal to, here exclamation mark inside the coding journey equals to not, means it is representing is not equals to. Double equals to means I am checking that whether both of them are equal. Exclamation mark and equal to, I am checking that whether both of them are not equal to each other. And if I'm writing greater than, uh, less than, and less than equal to, greater than equal to, these you had already done in your primary maths. Okay, so we will be just implementing them one by one. Let me just, if A, I'm taking some both variables, okay? A is to B equals to 2. And then if I am writing print A equal to B, now it will be checking that whether A is equals to B. Yes, true. A is equals to B. And if I write A not equals to B, whether A is not equals to B, it will be returning me false because A is equals to B because both of them are 2. Both of them are equal. So this is the use of these relational or conditional operators. And print A, let me just do one thing, A not equal to B. Just implement both of the all of them one by one. Okay, they are fine. One more. Greater than, greater than equal to, less than, and less than equal to, and now A B is 2. Let me just run this. A equal to B because A is 2 and B is 3. Both of them are not equal. So first is false. A is not equal to B. Yes, they are not equal to each other. This condition is true. A is greater than B. A is 2, B is 3. A is not greater than B. So it will is false. A is greater than equal to B. No, it is again false. Now what is the difference between A greater than B and A greater than equal to B? For example, if both A will be 2 and B will be 2, then is A greater than B? No, both of them are equal. So this will be returning me false. But this will be returning me true because if they will be, it will be returning true if A is greater than B and if A is equal to B also. This is the simple difference that probably you will be already knowing. A is less than B, A is 2, B is 3. A is less than 3. So it is true. A is less than equal to B, it is also true. So that was all about relational operators. Now logical operators, and, or, and not. What are these? First, let us understand this with the analogy. After that, I will be showing you the truth table. Then we will be implementing them also. Suppose there is a random person. Let us name him Arjun. Okay. Arjun's mother will only give him the money if Arjun do not have any money. First condition. And second condition, if he is going to a shop. Both of the conditions should be verified. Then it will be and. Means if Arjun do not have any money and Arjun is going to shop, his mother will be giving him the money. And if Arjun, any of condition is false, for example, Arjun have certain money, but he's also going to shop, then his mother will not be doing because one condition is not fulfilled. Arjun already have money. And if Arjun is not going to shop, then also his mother will not be giving him the money because again one condition is not fulfilled, that is and if we want any one condition to be fulfilled, that if Arjun don't have any money and Arjun is going to the shop. If only one of them should be true, then we can use OR operators. It's very basic electronics. Now let me just draw the truth table for your ease. Let me draw it here. Let me just explain it very clearly. That I won't be messing up with the points. Jada he like I had made it a little bit big. Just give me few seconds. Complete the truth table. So we have two variables. One is A, another one is B. If A is false, B is false. And in case A is false, but B is true. There can be case when A is true, B is false, A is true, B is true. So this type of table is known as truth table, in which there are all the permutations and combinations of the inputs. What are inputs? A and B are the inputs, okay? And when we will be performing AND operation between them, then both of them are not true. It will be false because AND will be only giving you true when both the conditions will be satisfied. Here, only single condition is satisfied. So in this case, again, false. Again, one condition is satisfied, false. Both the conditions are satisfied, true. In case of OR operator, at least one condition should be true. Both are false, false. One true is there, true. One true is there, true. Both are true, doesn't matter. It will be true. And what is not? Now, probably I had tell you in my first lecture, which was about basics and operators, and probably not. Because if I write something like, if I write A and then any operator, for example, plus addition operator B. Now, this addition sign, this addition plus sign is an operator, but A and B are operands. So both and or operators are binary operands, are binary operators. It requires two operand here, A and B, but not is simply a unary operand, a unary operator. It just requires a single operand. Means not will be just doing the reverse thing, just needing one thing. If I will saying not of true, it will be false. Not of false, it will be true. Now let us implement both, all of them. Okay, just implement. A is true, B is false. Print A not B. Print A and B. Print A or B. A not B, no. Just not of A. Not bot, not. There is not. Okay. Not of A is true, not of true is false. A and B both are not true. At least one false is there, then false. Or B, at least one true is there, then true. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's assignment operators. What are assignment operators? We use them to assign some value. Like if I have, let me just switch the color. If I have a variable name x, x is 2. I have assigned that value to x by using this variable 2. Then, see, this is an assignment operator because it is being used to assign some value to a memory location or to a variable. Then it's an assignment operator equal to. We have already covered it, very basic. But what are these assignment operators? These had been alternative. Like if I want to increase the value of my variable by 4. So what I can do, I can write x equals to, I just want to increase its value by 4 now. So x plus 4. What it will be doing? It will be making the value of x as 6 because x equals to 2. Here 2 will be, here there will be, let me just, here x will be replaced with 2. So x will be equals to 2 plus 4 means x will be 6. So by this I can do this, or there's a simpler way to do so. I can simply write x plus equals to 2. This is a simpler way to write it. But it will be doing the same work. X will be redefined as x equals to x plus 2. Wait, there we have taken 4, right? So just let me write that. Plus 4. Both of them are equal. It's just a shortcut and a easier and a simpler way to write it. And throughout your programming journey, you will be using these also. These only. What this one will be doing, it will be just reducing the value. Like if I write x minus equal to 2, then it will be equal to x minus 2. Similarly to this one, just let me write that also. If I write x minus equal to 4, then it is equal to x equals to x minus 4. And I have a designated practice question for this. We will be doing that practice question in next video, in next lecture, because this session has already been very long and there are some other important topics also, and I will be needing time to cover those important topics. So we will be doing the practice questions later on in our next lecture, in our next session, which I will be posting tomorrow only. So in that, we will be covering assignment operators in detail. Now, let us come to another important topic, data types. What are data types? So, there are different types of data. The data can be integers, minus infinity to plus 0 and plus infinity, like minus 2, minus 3, minus 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are integers. There are float values. What are float values? The values that have decimal inside them, like 4.26, 7.84, anything like that. Those are float values. String, what are string values? Anything of English, for example, like A, B, C, D. I'm writing hello. Hello is also a string. And make sure to always enclose a string value inside inverted commas. It's very important. Remember, whenever I am writing hello world, whenever I am writing Gursimran, I am enclosing it inside inverted commas because it's very necessary to enclose every string value inside inverted commas. Otherwise, the interpreter will be throwing you error. Boolean values. True, remember true, false. These are Boolean values. True and false are Boolean values. And sets. See, this set, list, tuple, dictionary. These are very much important data types of Python, and a lot of languages like C don't directly have these type of data types. So we have to perform like 4 or 5, maybe even more than these line of codes to build this type of data or to store the type data in this type, not exactly in this type, to kind of manipulate the data types in that. But Python, Python, you already have them, so you don't have to worry. And we will be seeing very much, very, very basic of these data types, list, tuple, dictionary, and set in this video, because I will be posting a designated, uh, in detail, totally in detail video in this series of each data type, a single video for each data type, or maybe two data types will be covered in a single video. So we will be covering them in detail. Don't worry about that. As of now, we will just seeing the basics. Now, again, back to the topic. What are data types? So there are different types of data. There can be strings value, the ABC things. There can be mathematical values without decimal or with decimal, and list of things can be there. Tuple, dictionary can be there. What are those? Again, covering later on. So to store different types of data, there are different data types. To differentiate between them, one data type will not be stored as in another data type. Is that clear? If I'm writing 43, it will be an integer. It will not be a float. All then I can change that, which is on next slide. But as of now, different types of data are stored differently, and this is known as data types. And now, how to know the data type? A question that how we can know the data type of anything, any data. So for that, you have to run a command type and inside it content. Let us do that. I have, for example, three variables. Okay, good Samran. Yeah, wahi, the only our old and classic variable names, age equals to 18 and marks equals to, I am changing the value for some reason. 3 4. Okay. Now I just want to print the type of name and print the type of age, print the type of marks. See, I have written, I print because I want to print something. What I want to print inside these yellow braces, that will be written type of name. I want to print the type of name variable. I have written name, so it will be printing the type of this Gursimran, not the name, because I haven't enclosed it in inside inverted commas. So it will be, this name will be referring to the variable name whose name is name, not the actual name word. I hope you will be getting this thing. So let me just run this command. Class, again, class is a keyword. Ignore that as of now. str is string. What is the type of name? It's a string because it is enclosed inside this inverted commas. So it is a string. What is the type of age, which is 18? It's an integer value. What is the type of marks? It is an floating value. If I write something also like bool, for example, sorry, bool is a keyword. If I write bol, okay, true. And I also want to print the type of small t, always, not capital T, because Python is case sensitive of bool. Save, run. It's Boolean, BOL. It's a keyword. That's why I was not able to use it here. I can't set it. See, it will become green. It will be throwing an error. It can't be set as variable name. So that was data types. Now, how to convert those data types? Like if I want to convert the data of one data type into another data type, then what can I do? Before that, I just remember a question that to ask you to check the not efficiency, to brain boggle you. If I write something like x, okay, x equals to 24.7, then I want to print the type of x. What will be the answer to this question? X. See, some might be thinking that 24.7, it's a float value. The answer to this statement, I want the data type of X, will be float. Okay. Another can think it will be a string because it is enclosed between inverted commas. So the right answer to this is string. Although it's a float value, but because we are enclosing it inside the string, it is referring to a string inside, enclosing it in between inverted commas. So it's no longer a float value. Now it had become a string value. That was it. Now, what list, tuple, and dictionary? Let me show you a little bit things about them also. As you have seen, that to define some integer and float, you don't need anything. But to define a string, you need inverted commas. And if you want to define a list, then just do this thing. You have to enclose it inside these square brackets. And if you want a tuple, then enclose it between these normal braces. One, okay. And again, because it's green, you can't list itself is a keyword. So let us say LST tuple is itself a keyword. Let's use tup. Okay. And now if I will be printing the type of LST, and then I want to print the type of tup. List and tuple. Similarly, there are different ways to define other data types like set and dictionary also. We will be covering them later on in a designated video because understanding these data types in detail is very important. Now, if I want to convert the data type of one variable into another data type, then what I will be doing? So there are two types of conversion, type conversions. One is implicit conversion and the second one is explicit conversion. What does both of them mean? Implicit conversion. Implicit conversion is the conversion that the Python interpreter will be doing itself. We don't have need to do anything. The Python interpreter will be doing itself. For example, I have written here an example. X equals to 3. Here x is an integer value. Y equals to 4.23. Here y is an float value. And now I want sum x plus y. I want to add both of them. So what happened? X was integer, y was float. I can't simply just add both of them. One is integer, second is float. It can't be added. Either both of them should be integer, then also after addition, the answer will be also integer. And either both of them should be float values. So after addition, the result will be also float. Hence, what the Python interpreter will be doing, Python interpreter will be convert when I will execute this command x sum equals to x plus y. So Python will be converting this x equals to 3, which means here the 3, which is an integer value, into a float value, which will be 3.0. So actually, when I will implement this command, x equals, oh sorry, sum equals to x plus y, first it will convert x integer into float 3.0. It will be adding that float value with 4.23 and giving you the result 7.23, the float value in this print statement. And now, but about explicit conversion, like Python interpreter is not doing this conversion itself. We want it explicitly. We explicitly, with our choice, want it to convert that. Now, here, x is a string. Integer can be converted into float. Float cannot be converted into integer. Why? Let's understand it with the analogy. Inside everyone's kitchen, there are multiple containers that are being used to store different things. And to if they are empty, what mothers usually do to save up the space, they put the smaller container inside a large container, and that container inside a more large container, that container inside a even more large container. Okay. So similarly, in this slide, all of these squares means memory locations are uniform of equal size, but actually they are not uniform. They are of different sizes. So what happens is x equals to 3 is an integer value. It only have to store some digits, okay, but not the decimal digits. It is usually smaller and holds smaller, less space in the memory. Hence, it's the smaller container. And why? It also have to include digits after decimal. So extra information it have to be storing. So it takes comparatively more space in the memory. So it's a bigger container. So it's possible to put this smaller container into big container. Just to convert this integer into float, it's possible. Just add zero point 0.00 and but it float can't be converted into integer because smaller container can be put into big container. Big container cannot be put into smaller container. And moreover, for with a layman perspective, you can understand that it's very easy to convert 3 into 3.0. You just add zero point 0. But if and the value will be same. 3 is equals to 3.0. But 4.23 cannot be converted into integer because otherwise its value 0.23 will be lost. And 4 and 4.23 are not equal. Are you understanding that? So this conversion is possible, but here in case x is an string because it is enclosed between these inverted commas. So I want to add that string into float. Now implicit conversion of string into float is not possible because at the end of the day, integer is also a number. It can be converted into another numbered data type, which is float. But string is not a data type uh, reserved for storing numbers. Although we can store numbers inside string also that we have seen in now I have deleted the code. In the code also, if we include any number between inverted commas, it also get converted into string. So now here 3 is a string. We have stored a number inside a string, but now we want that number to be converted into integer. So interpreter will not be doing it itself. Instead, we will be writing this command int of x. So now what we have done, we have converted this x into 3. It is possible. We are doing it explicitly by writing this command int of x. Int braces inside it x, the content of which we want to convert the data type. So it is possible it will be converting this string 3 into integer 3. And again, integer 3 can be converted into float 3 implicitly by the interpreter, and hence the answer will be same 7.23. So now how to convert this data types? These are the words like int inside it. These are the functions. Now, what are functions? We will be covering them later on. Remember one thing. Just try to research about functions also. Print is also a function that we have covered. Input is also a function. What are functions? As of now, just understand that these are some magical words that whenever we write them, it performs a certain task. For example, whenever we write print, it prints something. Whenever write input, it they input some data from the user. Similarly, if we write int, it will perform our which is to convert the value into integer value. And remember all the functions. Remember print and input also ends with braces. All the functions end with braces, so it will also end with braces. Inside braces, there will be content, which are arguments and parameters. Just research about them because it's very fascinating. Otherwise, I will be to covering later on. If you want to convert anything into integer, just simply write, just simply write the word int and then inside those braces, write the content there of which the data type you want to convert. If you want to convert something into float, write float. If you want to convert something into string, write str. If you want to convert something into list, tuple, set, dictionary, their respective words are given list, tuple, set, and dict respectively. Just use these words and your data will be converted into your desired data type. Now, I had certain practice questions, but this video had been already very long and I don't want to just waste those questions and finish them as early as possible and quickly. So I want to do them very calmly and very slowly so that you will be able to understand them. So I know this session was very much theoretical. Even the last session was very much theoretical. But trust me, the next session will be full of practice questions and coding part. You will definitely enjoy it. So stay tuned because in next session we will be covering practice questions and without understanding those practice questions and without actually doing this coding part, we will not be able to implement this theory that we had already learned. So this theory that we have learned is of no use if we are not able to utilize it properly in our coding journey. So stay tuned and please watch the next lecture also. Don't skip that. We will be doing just questions in that session that I will be posting tomorrow after this session. So stay tuned and keep learning. Always stay focused. We will be meeting in this was all for today's session. We will be meeting in another session. Till then, take care and bye bye.